with Bright Futures at Ford. I am making this video to say hello and to share a little bit of time with you on this Monday, March 16th. We are not together today at Bright Futures, but we are together if you're watching this video. So I am sitting here in our Bright Futures corner of my house. We have some of our friends' artwork on the wall above us and some stuffies from our favorite story. And we even have a story that we're going to read together in a little bit. Right now, as you are either getting comfy to watch this video or settling in, I'm going to say hello to everyone watching. Hello, everybody. It's so good to see you. Hello, everybody. It's so good to see you. At Bright Futures, we usually start our community with the big circle song where we say hello to everyone. I'm not sure who's watching this video, but just know that I am keeping you in my heart and saying hello to you, and I am so excited that you are watching this video with us today. Going forward, we will be making Bright Futures videos for our friends at Ford on Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. So I will have a daily video that I'm uploading until we get to rejoin together as a family. All right, boys and girls, so to start off our Bright Futures video together today, I have a joke for you. Now, I know many of my friends, when we were doing our poems together, said that they would really like to hear a joke next week. Well, I have a joke, and I can't wait to share it with you. Friends, are there any Halloween monsters that are good at math? No, unless you count Count Dracula. If you have a joke that you would like to see in a future video that we make, feel free to work on typing it below with your family in the comments, and maybe I will share that joke with everybody in our next video. All right, now is the time during community where we do We Wish You Well. So for those who are not familiar with how we do We Wish You Well, it's something where all our friends' names are on a chart, and those who are not here, we count and then we think of their names in our hearts for about 10 seconds. And we sit just like this with our hands in our heart, and we can close our eyes or leave them open. So I'm going to grab our We Wish You Well Bright Futures family heart. I'm going to put it right here. And we are just for 10 seconds going to put our hands on our heart. We don't have to close our eyes, but we can. And we're going to think about all of our friends at Bright Futures. We can think about our pets, our neighbors, our family, anyone that we want to wish well and send love. And just for 10 seconds, we're going to keep our voices off. I'm going to choose to close my eyes today. Thank you so much for helping me wish all our friends well. And just know that every day that we're not together yet, we are wishing each other well and thinking about each other in kind ways. So one of my favorite stories that I would love to share with you all today is called The Tortoise and the Hare. It's a made-up story, so it's fiction, and it's a story that has a message in it. It wants to share something with us. It wants to teach us something. And this particular story is called a fable. Now, our two vocabulary words that we're going to talk about before we read our story together are hare and tortoise. Now we're going to take just a couple seconds and either think the thoughts in our head or share it with someone we're watching the video with. And we're going to think about, have we heard the word hare before? What does that word remind us of? Have we heard it in another story? Have we shared this word when we would talk to a friend? And we're also going to do the same thing for the word tortoise. So I'm going to give you a couple seconds to think in your head or to talk with somebody who might be watching this video about what you think these two words might mean. So I am now going to share what these two words mean. Tortoise, as you can see on this vocabulary card, also has a picture of what looks like a turtle. A tortoise is a lot like a turtle. They are both animals that have shells, 4 legs, a head, a tail. But the difference between between a tortoise and a turtle is that a tortoise lives mostly on land and a turtle lives mostly in water. A tortoise will visit the water, but it doesn't spend most of its time in the water. Most turtles spend the majority of their time in the water. A hare, as we can see on our vocabulary card, has a picture of what looks like a rabbit. A hare is a lot like a large rabbit. It is a very fast mammal that has big hind legs that help it run very quickly. It has long ears like a rabbit and a fluffy tail. A hare is just a very large rabbit. Now we're going to get started and read The Tortoise and the Hare, and this fable was illustrated by Jerry Pickney, an award-winning Caldecott medalist. I'm really excited to share. This book is really beautiful.
All right, boys and girls, now it's time to read The Tortoise and the Hare, illustrated by Caldecott medalist Jerry Pickney. Here is our inside cover art, and as you can see, it looks like the characters will be running a race. I wonder what will happen. Now there are our two main characters, but we also see that there are other animals in the background. The tortoise and the hare together. I wonder what's going to happen. Now at the beginning of our story, they are getting ready to start their race. The fox yells go, and off the hare runs right off the page. The hare bounds over a log. He's looking ahead towards the trail, thinking about winning the race. The tortoise is coming to the log, and he slowly climbs his way around it. The hare looks back to see who is behind him. The tortoise comes to a group of rocks. Slow and the hare is bounding across the water. The frogs are leaping in the water in the background, you can see. There's the tortoise, slow and steady. He slowly is going through the water. And here's the hare bounding again over some rocks. He's distracted. Is that a fence with lettuce? He digs his way under the fence and he's taken a little snack. He must be confident that he is going to win this race because he's so far ahead. But it made him sleepy and he took a nap. And there's the tortoise looking ahead. Uh-oh, it looks like he slipped. His hat is falling off. But slow and steady wins. Now he's passing where the hare went under the fence. And the hare is still sleeping, boys and girls, but the tortoise is just going nice and slow. The hare finally wakes up and he looks to see where he was in the race. He goes back through the hole, pops his head up, and bounds forward. The hare is trying his hardest to race ahead. He sees that the tortoise is in front of him. Slow and steady wins the... All the other animals are watching at the finish line. The fox has the checkered flag. Slow and steady wins the race. And there's the tortoise pulling ahead, crossing the finish line before the hare. Now I am going to take just a second here and share some information from the artist note page that Jerry Pickney wrote specifically for the reader. It says, I remember hearing The Tortoise and the Hare when I was a child, not just as one of Aesop's classic fables, but also as one of the tales of Uncle Remus. In my family, stories such as this were often shared orally in the same manner that they had been passed down for generations. I have always been intrigued by the fact that this fixture of my own childhood lived also in the imaginations of colonial enslaved people. Slow and steady wins the race was particularly meaningful in my youth, since I often struggled in school because of dyslexia. But the moral rings truer than ever today. As the pace of our lives continues to speed up, many yearn for a less hurried approach to life. The tortoise proves that it can be wise to have a goal, but one should relish the process of getting there. The handling of the text in this version echoes that message by starting over again and again, building momentum toward the finish line. But I wanted the hare to teach something too. Winning isn't everything. He surprises his friends by not being the sore loser they might expect. Competitors can also be teammates and friends.
All right, now it's time for our Be Healthy. Now, today's Be Healthy video is all about washing our hands. So last Thursday, we did a really fun activity where we had stamps on our hands and we wanted to see if we could make them disappear by the end of program. We washed our hands a lot on Thursday and really worked at helping keep our bodies and the bodies of our friends healthy. Now today what we're going to do is we're just going to do a little reminder about how do we wash our hands? What is the best way to keep our bodies healthy? So the first thing that we want to do is we want to roll up our sleeves. We don't want them to get wet. And I have a little song that can help us remember how to wash our hands. This is the way we wash our hands, wash our hands, wash our hands. This is the way we wash our hands to keep our bodies healthy. First we get some soap, some soap, some soap. First we get some soap to keep our bodies healthy. Then we scrub our hands a lot, hands a lot, hands a lot. Then we scrub our hands a lot to keep our bodies healthy. Then we rinse the water off, water off, water off. Then we rinse the water off to keep our bodies healthy. Then we dry our hands off, our hands off, our hands off. Then we dry our hands off to keep our body healthy. And just a reminder, friends, we want to scrub our hands for 20 seconds. So while we're scrubbing those hands, we can count to 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way to 20. That way we know that all the germs are off our hands. Now that our hands are dried and clean, we want to make sure that we are not touching our faces, or if something is really dirty, then we can wash our hands again. This is just a great way to keep our bodies healthy and feeling good. All right, now it's time to say farewell until tomorrow when we'll get another video. Can we say farewell to Lancey? I have a treat for Lancey. Lancey, would you like a treat? Come over here, bud, and can you say goodbye? Come here, Lancey. This is Lancey. He's a big dog. He's gonna sit and he's gonna lay down. And while he eats his treat, I'm gonna say goodbye till tomorrow, friends. It was so good to share this video with you. And remember, if you have anything you would like to share or your families would like to share, feel free to write it in the comments below. And if there is a book that you would like us to read at one of our read aloud times, feel free to write that in the comments below. All right, until tomorrow. Bye, friends.